Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. Hope you all are doing well. You all know we are discussing MCQ series, and today's our topic is our second topic of today is transplantation immunology. So let us start this topic. The first question from this topic is a graft between genetically identical individuals is called. Options are on your screen, and the correct option is isograft. Isograft is also called syngenic graft, and it is the graft. It is the transplantation between genetically identical individuals. For example, identical twins. The second question is a graft between different species is called. A graft between different species is called a xenograft. Okay, it is also called a heterograft and it refers to transplantation between different species. For example, pig to human. The next question is kidney transplantation from one human to another, non-identical, is an example of. Non-identical is an example of, that is an example of allograft. So what is allograft? Allograft occurs between genetically non-identical individuals of the same species, and this graft or this transplantation is most common type of transplantation. The next question is skin graft takes from one area of the body and applied to another area of the same person is called, and this is called the autograft. This is called the autograft. And what is autograft? Autograft is tissue transplanted within the same individual, and this type of transplantation is very good because there is no rejection. The next question is the major cause of graft rejection is due to the mismatch in. The correct option is, options are on your screen, and the correct option is option B, that is MHC antigens. And the explanation is here, you can read this explanation. The next question is which cells play the dominant role in graft rejection? The options are B cells, cytotoxic T lymphocytes, mast cells, and eosinophils, and the correct option is cytotoxic T cells. These are also called CD8 plus T cells. Okay. The next question is which type of graft rejection occurs within minutes to hours after transplantation? And this type of rejection is called the hyperacute rejection. You know there are different types of rejections. One is hyperacute. This type of rejection occurs in a very quick way. The second one is acute. It takes some time, hours to days or weeks. And the chronic one, it takes more time than the acute. And the graft versus and the last option is graft versus host disease. And the correct option is hyperacute rejection. Next question is which type of rejection occurs days to weeks after transplantation? And this type of rejection is called the acute rejection. We already discussed hyperacute rejection. Hyperacute rejection is a very quick rejection that occurs within no time. That is, we can say it occurs within minutes to hours. The next question is chronic rejection occurs mainly due to. This type of rejection mainly occurs due to T cell and antibody mediated vascular injury. Okay, so chronic rejection involves fibrosis, narrowing of blood vessels, and finally the progressive graft loss. The question 10th is hyperacute graft rejection is primarily mediated by. This type of rejection is primarily mediated by performed antibodies. Options are on your screen, and the correct option is option B, that is performed antibodies. Performed antibodies against donor ABO or HLA antigens activate complement that causes thrombosis, and this reject is the graft or transplant. The next question is the rejection is homograft is mainly due to. The rejection is homograft is mainly due to T cell response to donor MHC. Okay. 12th question is which cytokine is critical in T cell mediated graft rejection? And the correct option is cytokinin IL-2. Okay. The next option is which immune cells are activated first in direct allo recognition? And the correct option is donor APCs. APCs means antigen presenting cells. Okay. The next question is indirect allo recognition occurs when. And the correct option is recipient antigen presenting cells present donor antigen to T cells. You can also read this explanation here and also read these options, and you can choose the right option by yourself. The fifth question is in bone marrow transplantation, which condition may occur? Options are graft versus host disease, hyperacute rejection, acute antibody rejection, chronic fibrosis, and the correct option is graft versus host disease. This graft versus host disease, donor T cells attack recipient tissues, common in bone marrow transplantation. The next question is the main site for first interaction between graft antigens and host immune system is. The correct option is spleen and lymph nodes. Okay. The 17th question is which complement component is most involved in hyperacute rejection? Options are on your screen, and the correct option is C3b complement. The next question is immunosuppressive drug that inhibits calcineurin and blocks IL-2 production is. And the correct option is cyclosporine. And the cyclosporine prevents IL-2 transcription, reduces T cell proliferation, and that helps in rejecting the that helps us to not reject the transplant. Okay. 19th question is tacrolimus acts by. The correct option is inhibiting calcineurin through FKBP binding. The next question is azathioprine is used in graft rejection because the answer is inhibits purine synthesis. That is, as azathioprine inhibits DNA synthesis, blocking lymphocyte proliferation. 21st question is hyperacute rejection can be prevented by. So answer is careful cross matching of blood groups and HLA typing. 22nd question is the hallmark histological feature of hyperacute rejection is. The correct option is thrombosis and necrosis of graft vessels. 23rd question is acute cellular rejection shows infiltration by, and it shows infiltration by CD4 and CD8 plus T cells. 24th question is chronic graft rejection primarily results in, and the answer is progressive vascular occlusion and fibrosis. 25th question is GVHD is most severe in which organ system, and the correct option is liver, skin and GI tract. GI means gastrointestinal tract. 26th question is the first set rejection occurs within 7 to 10 days. The first set rejection is primary immune response against the graft antigen. 27th question is the second set rejection occurs. The second set rejection occurs faster due to memory T cells. Memory T cells. The second rejection occurs within 3 to 5 days. First rejection takes 7 to 8 10 days and the second takes 3 to 5 days. 28th question is which antibody is used to block IL-2 receptor in transplant patients? The correct option is basilizumab. Basilizumab. The basilizumab is an anti-IL-2 receptor antibody used in immunosuppression. The most effective immunosuppressive strategy involves. The correct option is combination therapy targeting multiple pathways. And the last question is which of the following is the most common type of graft used in organ transplantation? And the correct option is allograft. So, what is allograft? Most organ transplants are allograft, same species but genetically different individuals. Okay, this was today's topic. Thanks.